Vivo's V29 Pro, which was launched last year in India, was a pretty good smartphone on paper and in real-world use as well. Its successor, the new Vivo V30 Pro, also has a few new tricks up its sleeves with some interesting Zeiss branded cameras. The brand has also stressed on the inclusion of Zeiss branded cameras, which for the very first time are available on a V series smartphone. But all of these fancy camera features come with an above average mid-premium price tag. After thoroughly testing out this phone, let's find out if it's worthy of its price tag and how well it stacks up against the competition. So let's get started. The Vivo V30 Pro is available in two variants, one with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, which is priced at Rs 41,999, and another with 12GB of RAM and 512GB of storage, priced at Rs 46,999. It comes in two color options, Andaman Blue and Classic Black in India, unlike the global variant that is available in four color options. The smartphone competes with the OnePlus 12R, Samsung's Galaxy S23 FE, and the Nothing Phone 2. We received the Andaman Blue color option, and this variant has a glossy glass rear panel, which according to the brand resembles the emerald waters of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The glossy surface is quick to attract fingerprints, but this bright colorway does not highlight them as much as a darker shade would. The smartphone doesn't look very different from its predecessor. At the back, there is a squared-off aura light right below the camera module, unlike the circular aura light on V29 Pro. It uses a 3-camera setup on the rear that is aligned in a rounded square with the newly added Zeiss branding. At the bottom of the rear panel is the silver-colored Vivo branding. The curved chrome frame has the power button and the volume buttons on the right. The speaker grill, microphone, USB Type-C port and SIM slot can be found at the bottom. I also got my hands on the classic black color option. It feels a bit more premium and sports a shimmery black glass back panel that does not attract any fingerprints. However, I personally like the Andaman Blue colorway. The smartphone has a premium in-hand feel and the curved glass sandwich design offers a good grip. The smartphone weighs 188 grams, which makes it very light for a smartphone with a 5000 mAh battery and a glass rear panel. This is a very slim smartphone at just 7.45 mm. The bezels on the left and right sides of the Vivo V30 Pro are almost non-existent, as it uses a curved edge display that blends with the curved sides of the frame. The smartphone offers an IP54 certification for dust and water resistance. While it is nice to see Vivo offer this rating, it is quite basic as far as IP ratings go and well below what other smartphones both at and below this price point offer. Xiaomi's Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus that we recently reviewed offers an IP68 rating at Rs 31,999. The smartphone comes equipped with the 4nm MediaTek Dimensity 8200 5G SoC, which is a slightly dated processor launched in 2022 that competes with Qualcomm Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 SoC available in some mid-range smartphones priced between Rs 25,000 to Rs 30,000. The Vivo V30 Pro offers a maximum of 12GB of LPDDR5X RAM and up to 512GB of UFS 3.1 storage. It uses a dual nano SIM card tray to accommodate two 5G SIM cards but does not have a space for a micro SD card. Other features include Bluetooth 5.3 and a USB 2.0 Type-C port for charging the device and data transfers. The Vivo V30 Pro is powered by a 5000 mAh battery that can be charged using the provided 80-watt charging adapter. On the software front, it runs on Funtouch OS 14 Global, which is based on Android 14. The interface is quite smooth across the board, but still has a couple of pre-installed apps. Not all of these can be uninstalled. Vivo promises 2 OS upgrades and 3 years of security patches for the Vivo V30 Pro. In our benchmark testing, the Vivo V30 Pro delivers mid-range performance in certain areas and delivers decent results. However, it falls horribly short when compared to other devices at this price point like the OnePlus 12R. It scored 9,58,187 points in Antutu, which is slightly higher than its predecessor. But for Geekbench 6, it scored 979 points in single core and 3,931 points in multi-core tests, which is slightly less than the Vivo V29 Pro. Gaming on the Vivo V30 Pro is decent. I played Asphalt 9 Legends, which ran smoothly and the smartphone did not lag while doing so. It has support for the 60 FPS mode and plays the games lag-free with high-quality visual quality selected. Call of Duty Mobile worked smoothly and I didn't notice any frame drops with the high graphics settings turned on. However, with very high graphics quality and max frame rate, the game does lag a little and it isn't a smooth experience. The smartphone did not get very warm during the gameplay either. The 6.78-inch Full HD curved edge AMOLED panel offers a 120Hz refresh rate and a claimed peak brightness of up to 2800 nits. By default, the display produces good colors that aren't overly saturated. It gets quite bright outdoors, but the colors get washed out when viewing the display in direct sunlight. The smartphone has a single down-firing speaker that is loud enough, but the lack of a second speaker is disappointing at this price point. The 5000 mAh battery performed well in our battery video loop test. It ran for 19 hours and 10 minutes, which is good and a little better than its predecessor. In our charging test, the smartphone charged to 71% in 30 minutes and completed the charge in 60 minutes using the provided 80-watt charging adapter. The Vivo V30 Pro is a camera-centric smartphone that comes equipped with quite a few useful features. It has 3 rear-facing cameras which include a 50-megapixel Sony IMX920 primary camera with an f1.9 aperture and optical image stabilization. There's a 50-megapixel Sony IMX816 f1.9 telephoto camera with 2x optical zoom and another 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera. For selfies, the phone has a 50-megapixel camera with an f2.0 aperture and autofocus. The 50-megapixel primary camera captures very detailed images in daylight with good dynamic range. It produces images that aren't overly saturated and don't look over-processed either. I found the capture speed to be a bit slow. It takes a couple of milliseconds to click a photo at times, especially with HDR images. The 50-megapixel telephoto is good with daylight shots. It maintains the same color tones as the primary and produces images that have good details in the highlights and the shadows. It does process the images a bit more, and so they often come out softer than the primary camera, despite having the same resolution. There is an option to click images at 4x zoom as well, but the images at this point are very soft and only usable sometimes. The ultra-wide camera too uses the same 50-megapixel resolution, but this one produces images in an entirely different fashion. The color scheme doesn't match up to the other two cameras. The images come out softer and you only get good shots when there's plenty of light. The 50-megapixel front-facing camera manages to tackle harsh lighting situations well, but there will be some instances where the images tend to have ramped up shadows, especially with the backlit shots. Before talking about the low light capabilities of this smartphone, let's talk about the Zeiss partnership that Vivo has for this smartphone. Zeiss and Vivo have partnered for the X series of smartphones for quite a long time, but this is the first time that the two brands have collaborated for a V series smartphone on the Vivo V30 Pro and not the vanilla V30. This time, it is not entirely the same thing. For the X series, Vivo has the Zeiss logo and the iconic T-Star logo printed around the camera module, which signifies that the camera has not only been co-engineered with Zeiss, but also uses the T-Star coating. This is not the case for the Vivo V30 Pro. It only has the Zeiss logo without the T-Star sign, and as confirmed by the brand, the lenses do not have the coating. So what this means is that the Vivo V30 Pro does have the Zeiss lens emulators within the camera app while you click portraits, but the results will not be as good as the ones shot on a X series smartphone. I did play around with these filters called Zeiss style bokehs, and it is a good addition for a mid-range smartphone. I tried these out with the new Aura light and managed pretty good portraits. Low light photography on the Vivo V30 Pro is a mixed bag. The primary camera clicks visually stunning images despite no light being in the frame. I shot some images in pitch darkness and the camera still managed to bring up the colors with good details in them. Despite the smartphone taking longer to shoot in the dark, I didn't get blurry images thanks to OIS being present on this one. The telephoto camera shots aren't outstanding in pitch darkness, but it produces good images with scenes that have some light in them. The saturation levels are decent, but the images do look over-processed and are softer than usual. The same is the story for the ultra-wide camera as well. The images taken with it are softer and did not maintain the same color scheme, which can be a bummer. In low light, the front-facing camera works well. It keeps a decent look throughout the frame and does not turn night to day by overexposing it. Focus is something that it struggles with sometimes. The Vivo V30 Pro can shoot videos at up to 4K 60fps on all three rear cameras and the front camera as well. This is where OIS shines for the videos shot using the primary camera. I shot multiple videos through the primary camera and the results were quite impressive. The camera handles harsh sunlight well and showcases good dynamic range. Shooting on the go has gotten better since the Vivo V29 Pro. The smartphone does not struggle with moving shots as much, and the stabilization is quite good. Results from the telephoto and the ultra-wide camera are also impressive. Surprisingly, the three rear cameras manage to maintain a similar color tone for videos. In low light, the cameras do struggle and you will see quite a lot of noise in your shots, especially for the telephoto and the ultra-wide camera. The 50 megapixel front-facing camera shoots decent enough videos that pop out in harsh lighting conditions, but miss focus sometimes. The low light video on this one is a hit or miss. There were instances where I ended up with a washed up shot that wasn't very useful. The Vivo V30 Pro is not a huge jump from its predecessor, the Vivo V29 Pro. In terms of user experience and camera performance, Vivo offers only incremental upgrades like slightly faster charging with longer battery life. Sadly, the phone misses out on some key features found in other smartphones at this price point, like a better official IP rating for dust and water resistance, and the new AI features that most of the manufacturers are focusing on in 2024. There's also the fact that it's using a rather dated processor, which isn't exactly a champion when it comes to performance given its premium price tag, which starts from Rs 41,999. It's a smartphone that's focused on photography and will not cater to the gaming or power users. If you are looking for something more powerful at this price point, the OnePlus 12R, which offers much better raw performance with its Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 SoC. If you are somebody who needs AI features and an official IP rating, the Pixel 7a also retails at the same price, but also offers better software with fast updates and very reliable camera performance. Do let us know what you think of the Vivo V30 Pro in the comments. That's it for this video. See you guys in the next one. Until then, keep following Gadgets 360 for more reviews like these and all things tech.